Neighbors describe what happened just before a man shot another during an argument.
And then the other guy said, "If you don't get out of my way, I'm going to shoot you in the face."
We're tracking the search for the suspect.
A man heads to court to answer the charges he shot and killed his girlfriend.
The names of 4 fallen officers have been added to the Kentucky Law Enforcement Memorial. The families tell us why the honor means so much to them.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. Police continue to search for a man wanted in a shooting.
Now, police say they have been looking for Dwayne Peters since a run-in with his neighbor turned violent last night in Somerset. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to a neighbor who saw what happened. It's our top story at 5.
The violence happened about 9 o'clock Sunday night here on Ringgold Road. Police are saying that a man who lives on this side of the road went to his neighbor's house, which is on this side of the road. There was an argument and a shot was fired. The victim is Harlan J. Richardson. Witnesses say they saw him pull up in a truck at the home of 47-year-old Dwayne E. Peters.
Started arguing, and then the other person decided to pull out a gun.
Carlos Vasquez says he saw everything while sitting on his front porch about 9 Sunday night. He says he heard one man voice a threat, then gunfire.
It went on for maybe a minute, and then the other guy said, "If you don't get out of my way, I'm going to shoot you in the face."
That's when the shot was fired. Police say Richardson suffered a gunshot wound to the stomach and had someone help him leave. Peters ran off as well, but police say he ditched his car at a nearby flea market and is still on the run. I'm told that Richardson was airlifted from near the scene to UK Hospital in Lexington. More on his call for help coming up at 6 o'clock. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say they're still investigating the circumstances of the shooting. They say Peters should not have owned a gun because he is a convicted felon.
A man accused of murdering his girlfriend answered to the charges this afternoon. Lexington police say William Pomeroy shot and killed Amy Kogel in the couple's backyard Friday morning. WKYT's Hillary Thornton shows us what happened in court.
He is accused of shooting his girlfriend multiple times. This afternoon, William Pomeroy arraigned on the charges he's facing in connection with the city's latest murder. Police say the 45-year-old admitted to officers that he killed his girlfriend, who is also the mother of his children. This all came after police found the body of 43-year-old Amy Kogel in the backyard of the couple's home on Pickney Drive Friday morning. Investigators say Kogel had been shot several times, and in his arrest citation, police say that Pomeroy also admitted to hiding evidence after the crime. He is facing charges of murder and tampering with physical evidence. On Monday, his attorney waiving formal arraignment in front of a judge, a not guilty plea entered on his behalf, and another court date set for later on in the week. Meanwhile, folks living in the neighborhood that became the site of a crime scene on Friday say there has been a tremendous outpouring of support for the family that Kogel leaves behind, including her 3 young children.
Not only just in the neighborhood, from as far away as New York and Texas, who were classmates of Amy, and been a great outpouring. The neighborhood has kind of come together, and I think they've kept the family and food and things like that. It says a lot about the neighborhood as far as the connection between the people that live here, that they are neighbors, and I think it says a lot about Lexington. I think it's pretty much that way in a lot of neighborhoods.
And Pomeroy will be back in court Thursday morning for a preliminary hearing. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
A fund has been set up to help the family at a Fifth Third Bank on Versailles Road.
A man will face more serious charges after a stabbing turned deadly. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Clark County. Winchester police say that Danny Thorpe stabbed Jeff Adams at a home on Hughes Avenue last week. Adams died over the weekend at UK Hospital. Thorpe was charged with assault, but the Winchester Sun reports his charge has been upgraded to murder. In Jessamine County, deputies have arrested a man they say broke into cars and a home. The sheriff's office says deputies caught 19-year-old Samuel McKinley breaking into 2 cars on Cardinal Lane early this morning. And they tell us he had stolen items on him. He faces several charges, including theft and receiving stolen property.
We are getting a taste of summer this week. It is warm and muggy outside, and of course, there's a chance for some rain or storms. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here now with the start of your week forecast.
Yeah, things are going to turn warm and muggy. Right now, it's awfully nice out there across central and eastern Kentucky. Temperatures into the 70s, low humidity, and plenty of sunshine across the entire region. We look outside Hamburg Pavilion, 74 Lexington. Humidity's way down there, 41%. Over the next few days, both of those numbers will start to climb, especially once we get into Wednesday and beyond. Current temperatures low and mid 70s, most of central and eastern Kentucky. 80s are showing up, though, into western parts of the Bluegrass State. The best view we can show you on your Defender radar network is the one you are seeing now. It is dry across the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky, but that milder air is indeed coming in from the west with temperatures into Paducah at 85 degrees. That's what we're going to get in on as we go toward the middle and end of the week. Out and about this evening, it's 70 through sundown, and then we'll drop it into the 60s as we go through the latter part of the evening. Looking off to our west, warm, humid air that is on the way with a little preview of summer as we go toward the end of the week. The big question on everybody's mind, will this last into Memorial Day weekend? We'll break it down for you with that special Memorial Day forecast when I come back in just a matter of minutes, guys.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. 2 business owners are cleaning up after thieves targeted their stores overnight. It is the second time in the last week thieves have targeted businesses at the shopping plaza near Old Todd's Road in Man o' War. This time, Miss Holly's Barber Shop and Ken Towery's Auto Care were hit. The owner of Miss Holly says while the store has several $100s in damage.
They weren't able to get any real cash or anything from us. Yeah, we got to get a brand new door, but you know what? If that's the worst of our troubles, we're doing okay.
Well, just like last week's break-ins, Bowen says her motion sensor and security system did not catch the thieves. Police have not said yet if they think all of the crimes are connected. It is a way to honor Kentucky police officers who have lost their lives serving others.
Today, the names of 4 fallen officers were added to the Kentucky Law Enforcement Memorial in Richmond. Kristen Kennedy talked to the families. They say they're grateful their loved ones' sacrifice is not forgotten.
They were 4 of Kentucky's finest, Troopers Eric Chrisman and Cameron Ponder, and Officers Burke Rhodes and Daniel Ellis. Men that Monday, hundreds honored for their service and sacrifice. Trooper Chrisman's father spoke of Eric.
We're just very appreciative that people consistently, they don't forget him, and that means a lot to us.
Officer Burke Rhodes' widow Melissa and his 3 children traced his name newly etched on the memorial.
I'm very grateful that they are old enough to understand his service and his sacrifice, and they have such strong memories.
In addition to the 4, leaders here honored 5 others whose names were just recently added to the National Memorial. Those names included Trooper Anson Tribby.
It warms my heart that people aren't going to forget him, because we never will.
Widow Rebecca Tribby says this memorial means more to her than the one in D.C.
It's amazing to have him in Washington, but this one we can come and visit and see more.
Officer Daniel Ellis's brother Eric says they are grateful his name sits in a place dear to them.
D.C. was awesome, doing the National Memorial, but, this is where Daniel was every day for many years, coming to school here, coming to the academy here. And it's a sad occasion, of course, but it means a lot to our family.
The families of the fallen honored here are grateful Kentuckians are remembering them. In Richmond, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
There are now more than 530 names listed on the Kentucky Law Enforcement Memorial.
At least 30 University of Kentucky employees will soon be out of a job. The College of Arts and Sciences will lay off employees because of a $4 million deficit in the fiscal year ending June 30th. State budget cuts are not to blame. The Herald Leader reports it's because contracts with foreign governments that sent students to UK to learn English have unexpectedly dried up. Affected employees will be notified later this month. A judge finds a police officer not guilty in a man's death. We have reaction to the verdict.
Lyme disease can be difficult to diagnose. We'll show you a new test that's making it easier in better living.
be a breeding ground for crime.
Buildings sitting empty.
Vacancy is not a good thing.
WKYT investigates the impact abandoned businesses have on the community. Vacant eyesores, tonight at 6 on WKYT.
What the hail? You heard that right. Recent storms caused slight damage, and you benefit at the Frankfort Toyota What the Hail sale.
What the hail?
Frankfort Toyota has new Toyotas and top quality used vehicles just slightly damaged. And the damage to the vehicles is so small and the savings are so big you don't want to miss Frankfort Toyota's What the Hail sale. When they're gone, they're gone. Hurry in for the best selection. Frankfort Toyota's What the Hail sale.
Kentucky lottery sales have funded grants and scholarships for over 500,000 Kentucky college students. So every time you play, the Commonwealth wins.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
This Zensation salad is so good. It's like change your life good.
It's you! Will you sign my book, please?
You're a best-selling author?
Who rocks a turtleneck?
Oh, it's good to be me.
Youth.
Life-changing? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. The Sensation Salad is back. Chicken fingers, crispy wonton strips, Asian slaw, honey sesame sauce, and a veggie egg roll. Only at Zaxby's.
Hi, I'm looking for my first Toyota.
The Corolla is a great choice. It's super reliable, so it'll be with you for a lot of firsts.
Wow, I'm really going places.
In a Corolla, right?
Now, during Toyota time, you can get any new 2016 Corolla with 0% financing for 60 months. Or lease this stylish Corolla S for just $169 a month.
First things first, your keys.
Toyota, let's go places.
How do you craft the world's finest bed? It starts with luxurious materials, with attention to every detail. For quality you can feel, the same quality you've come to expect at Sleep Outfitters, where now you can save up to $600 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses. Plus, get 0% APR financing for 60 months. When you lie down on a Stearns & Foster bed, you'll appreciate everything we've put in, making it that much harder to get out. Stearns & Foster, available at Sleep Outfitters.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Plenty of blue skies across the Bluegrass State today. That has certainly not been the theme of the month of May so far. And temperatures today that were actually very close to normal. Not bad for a Monday. We look outside for those of us cooped up on a day like this. And this is my personal weather window to the world. Current temperature Lexington 74 degrees and humidity is at 41%. Not too bad, but overall that humidity and the thermometer both will increase over the next few days. Low 70s, Eastern Kentucky. Everybody else mid and upper 70s. Defender radar network, nothing going on. And we look out to the west of us. We've got temperatures that are beginning to climb a little bit. 85 in Paducah. That is the air that is on the way to the Bluegrass State as we go toward the latter part of the week. Middle and latter part of the week, those temperatures will really begin to take off across most areas. 24-hour planner. Heading into the day tomorrow with temperatures that will top out upper 70s to low 80s. Plenty of sunshine across our part of the world. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Out this evening, everything looking to be in tip-top shape. Plenty of clear skies through 11 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, early trip into work and school. And for some of us, school is already over. For the rest of you, you got a few more days. You're just whittling them away now. We're into the final stretch. Temperatures into the 50s with a touch of fog for that trip tomorrow morning. How about tomorrow afternoon? High 70s to low 80s, sunny skies again. Though late tomorrow evening, a little bit of cloud cover begins to come on into play. And for the day on Wednesday, anyone is fair game for at least a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Is it an all-day rain? No, I don't see any one day over the next week that is an all-day rain. I do see a lot of muggy air and a lot of warm temperatures that if we get one day over the next week, starting Wednesday through early next week, that has more sun than clouds, 85 to 90 will be a good possibility into most areas. Though this is a pattern that is loaded with a tropical feel coming out of the Gulf of Mexico as we go through the next several days. What does that mean for us through Memorial Day weekend? It's going to feel a lot like summer, very muggy with a shower or thunderstorm around on any given day during that time. But to break down that Memorial Day weekend in greater detail, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you know what? All 3 days, it's the rubber stamp forecast. Warm and humid with a daily threat for a shower or a thunderstorm during that time, with those temperatures, again, mid to upper 80s across most of central and eastern Kentucky. And that is a fine-looking forecast, if I say so myself. Matt just decided I didn't want to jump into traffic. I'm stealing Don's thunder here, at least my computer is. 7-day forecast. Don't fail me now. Let's see if we can get that back up. Sometimes, folks, modern technology, you just got to roll with the punches. 7-day is being awfully stubborn. Hey, there you go. Oh, thank you. I get an applause from the peanut gallery over here. Every day looking like the day before it, starting Wednesday through Memorial Day with highs mid and upper 80s. I don't know why that forecast wanted to hide. If I had mid and upper 80s, and if I were a forecast, I'd want to show off right now.
Well, maybe you just thought I didn't have anything exciting, and it was just kind of being shy. So.
I guess so, but that's pretty nice.
It is pretty nice. Chris, thank you.
All right.
Well, that crash at Richmond and Old Richmond, Chris, has been cleared, so we have both lanes open on Old Richmond Road now, which is great news for that route. And Nicholasville Road's improved. Inbound's been more trouble than outbound approaching Brandon Crossing to Man of War because of an earlier collision. Drive times to Nicholasville were okay, 12 to 15 minutes. Versailles looks good, and no problems across the Clay Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
Crews continue to search the sea for pieces of a crashed jetliner. An update on the search for the black boxes next.
A man admits he played a role in another man's murder, who he says he took the plea deal for, on WKYT News at 5:30.
Kentucky mornings start here. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT.
Hitting someone at 35 miles per hour is like throwing them off a 4-story building. A little extra speed is a lot more deadly. Slow down, Lexington.
If you've been injured on the job, do yourself and your family a favor. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about all of your legal rights. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Tired of painting? Go Rhino, and you'll never have to paint again. Now you can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for brick, stucco, wood, or aluminum. And Rhino Shield won't chip, crack, flake, or peel for home or business. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
We've got an online auto approval hornswoggle.
Oh, I hate swogglers.
They said I was approved online.
Uh-oh, I smell a butt coming.
Yeah, a big butt. But I wasn't really approved.
Only DriveTime.com gives you a real online approval in 2 minutes. No butts.
Because butts stink.
Butts do stink.
Kind of a double meaning. What do you mean, huh?
Save yourself. Get a real online approval first. Go to DriveTime.com.
Who says mornings can't be happy? Not us. Introducing the DQ Hardest Working Happy Hour, with drinks that work even harder than you do, blending sweet flavors like never before. Only DQ has drinks that multitask in the morning even if you can't. Like $2 premium fruit smoothies, $2 ultimate frappes, and $1 iced coffees. Every weekday morning until 10:30 a.m. at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
If you want to sell your house, you can call an ugly sign on the side of the road, or you can call a company with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. My name is Brian Evans, and I've been buying houses in Lexington for over 10 years. I can give you cash today. Call me at 859-278-HELP or go to 278help.com.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 104.5 The Cat.
Hit me at 35 miles an hour. There's a 45% chance I'll die. Slow down to 25 and I'll probably live. A little extra speed is a lot more deadly. Slow down, Lexington.
WKYT is putting the new back in late news with newer stories and more updates.
so there's less repetition, which means no wasted time. WKYT News at 11. Newer, fresher, worth staying up for.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
One of the 6 police officers charged in Freddie Gray's death is a free man.
The officer opted for a bench trial and a judge found him not guilty. Craig Boswell has reaction to the verdict.
Baltimore police officer Edward Nero is a free man, acquitted of assault and other charges for the arrest of Freddie Gray.
Officer Nero at this point is the most relieved person on the face of this earth.
In a bench trial with no jury, Judge Barry Williams ruled the 30-year-old acted as any reasonable officer would and only touched Gray after he was in handcuffs. Prosecutors had argued that Nero arrested Gray without probable cause and was negligent for not making sure the suspect was seatbelted inside the police van. Billy Murphy represents the Gray family, who say they respect the decision.
To the black citizens in Baltimore, you ought to be proud that such an accomplished jurist with a background in prosecuting corrupt cops had the courage to go against public opinion.
Officer Nero teared up after the verdict was read, while outside the courthouse, emotions were also running high.
People want justice, but I think we still have to let the process work. I think that some things were said to make me feel that some next cases might be done differently.
6 Baltimore police officers have been charged in the arrest and death of Gray. The officer who was driving the van faces the most serious charges, second-degree murder. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Baltimore.
The first trial ended with a hung jury. Crews continue an underwater search for the black boxes from Egypt Air Flight 804. The jet crashed mid-flight last Thursday, killing all 66 people on board. The U.S. Navy is among the search teams listening for pings from the black box off the coast of Greece. Those pings will only last, though, for 30 days.
We can stay out here for a good 6 hours looking for people. We have a lot of windows throughout the aircraft. Everybody's looking out windows.
The U.S. Navy found more than 100 pieces of debris floating on the surface over the weekend.
President Obama lifted a 4-decades-old arms embargo against Vietnam today. The president made the announcement during a trip to Vietnam. Vietnam will now be able to buy American-made weapons. In exchange, Vietnam will give U.S. ships more access to its ports. Vietnam has been eager to see this ban lifted because of a threat posed by China.
This change will ensure that Vietnam has access to the equipment it needs to defend itself.
Next up, the president will visit the Japanese city of Hiroshima, making him the first sitting president to do that. A U.S. atomic bomb decimated the city during World War II. The president has told Japanese television he will not apologize. New polls showing a Hillary Clinton-Donald Trump matchup this fall could be closer than many thought. Trump has eliminated nearly all of Clinton's commanding lead over him. Clinton criticized Trump while speaking to a union in Detroit.
We're not talking about any ordinary anti-union, anti-worker Republican. A lot of Republicans themselves say Donald Trump is a disaster waiting to happen to America.
So a lot of the Bernie Sanders voters, they do not like Hillary Clinton. They don't respect her. Well, so those people would come with me.
And Trump is the Republican Party's presumptive nominee, but Clinton still faces a challenge from Senator Bernie Sanders. While Clinton leads the delegate count by a large amount, Sanders is hoping to pull off a major upset in California's June 7th primary to help him win the nomination. You will have your first chance to hit the pool this coming weekend in Lexington. We'll look at where you can do that and take a dip on WKYT News at 5:30.
It's a test that could make detecting Lyme disease easier. We'll show you how it works in Better Living.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
All right, come on, everybody. It's time to go.
Getting more for your money is simpler than you might think. When you shop at Kroger, you get low prices throughout the store. Weekly specials, great value from our quality brands, digital coupons, and even fuel points to help you save at the pump. No spin, just savings.
Treat your family to sweet red cherries for just $2.99 a pound and boneless pork chops for $2.88 a pound. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
The illegal taste of moonshine that's put a lot of people behind bars is now on a burger. With moonshine glaze on Black Angus beef. The Midnight Moonshine Thick Burger. Get a free Moonshine Mason Jar Cup with a large combo at Hardee's.
Can I get a soft pretzel with sausage, egg, and cheese?
I have no sausage.
No egg and no cheese. Sausage, egg, and cheese on a soft pretzel.
Ain't nobody got that, man.
We do. The Pretzel Breakfast Sandwich. With egg, sausage, American, and Swiss cheese on an Auntie Anne's soft pretzel. Only at Hardee's.
There's no one road out there. No one surface. No one way of driving on each and every road. But there is one car that can conquer them all. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class. 5 driving modes let you customize the steering, shift points, and suspension to fit the mood you're in and the road you're on. The 2016 C-Class 4MATIC starting at $40,950. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
I'm Philip Weisenberger. My family has been milling grains from Kentucky farmers since 1865. Through 6 generations, we've learned that quality takes hard work. When you buy Kentucky Proud, you help keep our traditions alive. Look for Weisenberger Mills and other Kentucky Proud products available every day at Kroger.
Right now at Kroger, Weisenberger Biscuit Mix is 10 for $10. And pick up Kroger Sour Cream or dips and get 10 for $10. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Lyme disease can be hard to diagnose because tests are not always accurate. As Mark Albert shows us, a young researcher in Virginia may have come up with a solution.
24-year-old grad student Temple Douglas is an aspiring scientist who has already made a name for herself in the field of Lyme disease research.
I was kind of in the right place at the right time.
When she was a high school intern at George Mason University, researchers were using a technique to test for microscopic cancer particles, and she wondered if it could work to test for Lyme disease.
I was aware of the issues with the Lyme disease test because of my family. 2 people in my family at that time had Lyme disease.
The disease is difficult to diagnose because only 40% of people get the telltale bullseye rash after a tick bite, and current lab tests can give a false positive.
We believe it's a game changer.
The new test uses microscopic particles that capture Lyme bacteria in a patient's urine.
The bacteria that's really causing this effect, we're testing it directly. And we're testing it with a high sensitivity that's never been achieved before.
If this test gets FDA approval, instead of only doing it in a lab, it could be on shelves at your neighborhood drugstore.
Dr. Lance Leota says he hopes the test will detect Lyme before symptoms appear.
The goal is to treat this bacteria really early, right after the tick bite, and it can be completely cured with antibiotics.
Temple is now focusing on cancer research at Virginia Tech.
By doing the research that I do, it's possible I'll be able to help people out.
She says it's a great feeling when hard work pays off. Mark Albert, CBS News, Manassas, Virginia.
The CDC estimates about 300,000 people are diagnosed with Lyme disease each year. A company says it's developed a test to predict a pregnant woman's risk of delivering too early. A normal pregnancy lasts about 40 weeks. A baby born before 37 weeks gestation is considered premature. The blood test looks at patterns with a woman's proteins to predict the risk of her baby arriving early.
If she has a high risk, interventions are possible. The goal is to keep the baby in utero longer, have it develop more fully, and have it be born healthier, so everyone wins.
According to UK Healthcare, 1 in every 7 babies born in Kentucky is premature. In some parts of the state, it's as high as 1 in 5. Now, here's what's coming up at 5:30.